The Enginerdy Show has the weirdest style. The Enginerdy Show hopes you stay a while. Come with these three nerdy engineers. What you will find might linger in the cochlea of your ears. Oh, with every nerdcast, there is something new. If you are listening, then this show's for you. You may think the premise of this show sounds so absurd. Well, you're the one listening who's the nerd.
Hey nerds, this is St. Jimmy. Thought I'd fill you in on what we're doing this episode. At the beginning, we're in the car on the way to watch the movie Star Trek Into Darkness. So the audio is kind of bad, gets pretty bad at the end, but it's not that long, it's about 5 minutes. Then we do some of our normal segments, and all of the spoilers are at the end, so we'll warn you right before we give any spoilers, and then you can turn the podcast off if you haven't seen the movie, and if you're planning on watching it without spoilers. So feel free to comfortably enjoy the show until we give you the spoiler warning.
You know me so you can't just say bizarre. You never get a moment for free. Show me something fun on your guitar. Something with an A or a G.
Hello, welcome to the Enginerdy Show. This is a special Star Trek Into Darkness edition of the Enginerdy Show. Our big sponsor this week is Sherman brand Quado Triticale. If you have trouble with tribbles, get our Quado Triticale. They eat it up like mad. All right, we're on our way to the movie right now. So I guess I'll start. This is Mr. Pold. I'm excited because it's Star Trek and I love Star Trek. And it's got that Cumberbatch dude in it from Sherlock as the villain, so I'm sure he's going to do an awesome job. St. Jimmy, you want to take the, can you think they can hear him?
Yeah,
okay.
Hey, this is St. Jimmy. I'm excited. This is, I really like the director, and I like who they got to play Kirk, Spock, and especially Scotty. He's probably my favorite character. I named one of my kids after him, after all, so should be good.
Alright, this is D Viddy. It's been a long day, but I'm excited. I'm excited. St. Jimmy, I love the director, and can't wait for him to do Star Wars, so here he's going to do. And I don't know anything about this movie because I try to squint or watch the previews even. I don't know what's happening. So I'd be totally surprised by it. I'm sure I will be.
I saw a preview and I didn't know what was going on, so I plan on being surprised.
Not all of us watch the previews while drunk.
All I know is stuff's going to blow up.
D Viddy, I wish I had the ability to, put aside temptation like you did, because I watched every single trailer I could get my hands on.
Let's see how our different reactions are to it. I totally fooled you.
I still don't know what's going to happen in the movie.
We all have different scenes.
I have avoided everything about it since the movie came out. Since the movie came out, I've avoided everything, so.
I haven't really had anybody tell me or try to tell me about it at all. I don't know if we're the first people I noticed.
Yeah, I haven't had anybody tell me whether it was good or not either. But I assume it's going to be awesome. Actually, you know what? I did see somebody's note on Facebook saying it was awesome. I can't remember who that was because I was trying not to read it.
Were you squinting?
I was not squinting. I haven't learned that technique from D Viddy, but maybe I should.
Do you have seminars?
Yep.
Andy, you could put them up on the. It also helps if you forget your glasses.
Well, I don't need glasses. That's what I do there.
Put glasses on. Glasses on, then squint.
Hey, if we went together, I could just give you my glasses, and then I could see, you could see. Great. There you go.
What are you guys doing? We're looking at a Star Trek preview.
Well, yeah, I can't wait. We're almost to the theater. You can tell we're driving to the theater right now while we're podcasting. We're all in our Star Trek uniforms. No, just kidding. I don't have a Star Trek jacket. I like a Star Trek uniform jacket. Oh, I don't have a Star Trek. I got my tips on. I was going to wear 4 tips and be an admiral. That'd be awesome. Except my question would
I don't want to pay for the movie. What's Admiral? What? The Federation doesn't use money.
Why don't we call you Admiral while we're in there? Just we can have Star Trek nicknames for each other in the movie theater. Say Jimmy will be Jim. I don't know what you'd call me. You could call me Bones.
Yeoman.
Yeoman. I'm sorry, my skirt that I'm wearing is not short enough to be a yeoman. Whoa, too much information. Oh, good thing we came early. Man, a lot of people here. And it's a Tuesday. What the?
It's my $5 Tuesday.
Oh.
Mine is out the door.
So they're here the same reason I'm here. They're cheap.
Yes, always have to pull around.
Actually, you know what? I do kind of remember being this packed when we came for G.I. Joe last month.
I don't think we had to wait outside, though.
We did have to park in the way back, though.
Might not be parking back here either.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I just saw people walking up the hill.
Is there a way to just beam into the theater?
Hopefully there's here to see from the hill.
I'll pull out my flip phone, see if I can get Scotty. Or who's the other guy that sometimes mans the transport?
Chief O'Brien.
Chief O'Brien, there you go.
In the cold light of dawn, woke in an empty room where everything found was lost, like a loose tooth, like a teaspoon.
And that's why someday I will rule the world.
Oh, that sounds like a very... Wait a second. Are we back?
Yes, we're recording.
Yeah, it looks like we're back. Okay. All right, so that first part that you heard was us driving on the way to watch Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yep.
We'll get back to that. We'll come back to how we like the movie and talk more about the movie later.
So all the spoilers will be at the end of the episode, so you can feel free to continue listening until you hear the spoiler warning.
Yes, we will give a clear spoiler warning when it's...
Is that called a spoiler alert? Spoiler alert?
A spoiler
Yes,
alert warning.
It's a spoiler alert warning. Wait, no, a spoiler warning alert.
Inert?
All right,
not inert.
Technergy!
Technerdy.
Technergy.
Technergy.
Okay, this week we're going to talk about the new Xbox console. We talked about the name last time, and we talked about it being called the Xbox 720. That's not what it's going to be called.
The 1080.
Nope. You're going the wrong direction.
My pun will make sense here in a second.
180.
Keep going.
Which
90.
one is it again?
Xbox One.
Oh, whoa. I didn't expect that.
So,
Prima donna wide receiver.
It's going to be like a Formula One race car.
maybe. So now you're going to have to differentiate between the original Xbox and the Xbox One.
So the Xbox I have now, would that be the negative one?
That's not the right one.
That's
Wait, didn't they have Xbox 360?
Yes.
Yes.
It went Xbox,
One.
Xbox 360, Xbox One.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So is that better or worse than calling it the 720?
What are you going to do next? Xbox 2? What's the Xbox 3?
No, it's not going to make sense.
It'll be the Xbox 94.
It's like house addresses in Pennsylvania. They just randomly pick numbers each house.
Well, Madden goes from Madden 2000 or Madden 13 to the next one's Madden 25
Whoa?
for the 25th anniversary of Madden.
Oh, okay.
But what happened? They're kind of limiting how long their run can go. Because what happens when they get to Madden 2025?
Yeah, they didn't think that through very well.
But Madden should be dead by then, so maybe they'll change the name.
Madden Jr.
Madden Jr.?
Keyshawn Johnson.
No, they'll just call it Madden 1.
Madden 1.
Madden 1?
Yeah, because here's the concept of calling your device 1. It started with cell phones, I've heard. This is the last console you'll ever have to buy.
Oh, really?
Supposedly.
Whatever.
So,
Until they come out with the Xbox 23.5.
Is it going to be made by Apple and only have one button?
Xbox Pi.
No, Xbox is Microsoft.
I know, that's why it'd be funny.
Alright.
You should have called the iXbox.
iXbox. iBox.
iBox.
Xcast.
You know Apple's going to make a game system eventually.
It only has one button on the
It's
controller.
going to be called the iFarmville.
Oh. Farmville's a Facebook thing,
I
isn't it?
know.
Yeah. Okay, back to the Xbox. So the stats make it look like it's similar to the PS4 as far as the processor, but now it's going to have a Blu-ray drive, so they've finally caught up on that. The Xbox 360 went with the HD DVD thing, and that went the way of the Betamax.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like the main drive to it. It was like an add-on.
Yeah. When it originally came out, it didn't have an HD drive at all. That came later. And they chose the HD DVD format, which lost to Blu-ray, which is a Sony-owned technology.
I have a question.
Okay.
Are game systems eventually going to get to the point where you'd have your controller and you strap it to your belt, and then you go outside and like play football or do some kind of other event, and it just tracks what you did, and then you come back later and you have like trophies and stuff?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Why don't you just go outside and play at that point? I just want to move my thumbs. What don't they understand about that?
Well, you can do that still. They still have a controller. It looks similar to their old controller. It's got some new buttons and stuff. So let's see. The controller, it's similar to what's on there. It's got 40 new design innovations, it says. It's supposed to be more comfortable. It's got the concave thumb pads like the PS4 controller has. And the triggers
slip off.
The triggers are fancy and they vibrate.
Ooh,
the triggers vibrate?
Triggers.
Yep. It's got an impulse triggers.
That's better than vibrating chiggers.
Yeah.
Slightly.
I'm not going to even continue on that line of thought because it gets offensive rather quickly.
Okay, then.
So, yeah. It looks like the games are going to be on Blu-ray discs. It's going to have a new Xbox Live. You can control it by talking to it. So that's a new feature.
How much does the Xbox Live cost?
I imagine it's going to be the same price as the old one. I don't know. It doesn't say. So the old Xbox games, the Xbox 360 games, will not work on it. So that's similar to the PS4.
You mean the Xbox 360 games won't work on my PS4?
No, they won't. Yes, they won't work on the PS4 or the Xbox One.
I got you to say no to that.
Yeah.
No, they will work.
No, that's not what I meant.
I know.
So they call it the Xbox One because it's basically all of your media in one box. You'll plug your cable feed into it, your internet. It's got Wi-Fi, so I guess you don't actually have to plug into it. But I guess you can if you want. But
I wonder what kind of games the IRS game all-in-one system will use, so they can track it's all in one place.
What else is cool on here? They've got the new Kinect system.
Is there pictures of it?
Yeah,
If I do a Google search for a picture, will I find it?
maybe.
Is it
Probably.
spelled out one, or is it...
Yeah, it's spelled out. It's not the number.
So they don't even have numbers at all?
Nope.
I'm going to pronounce it Xbox One.
That's a good idea.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
It's getting really close to one of those PCs, you know, the flat ones.
Yeah. That gaming
PC.
computer.
Isn't Microsoft like a PC company?
Yes.
Couldn't they just make like an Xbox controller to a PC at some point?
I think you can get that.
Okay. Aren't computer games usually cheaper and better refresh
Graphics.
rates and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But I think the console is cheaper than a comparable computer. But I don't know.
just read an interesting line about it. It says Xbox One will track viewers' TV habits. Oh yeah, Xbox One Xbox One will track viewers' TV habits and reward them for watching ads.
Oh my goodness.
What kind of rewards? So is he going to like chocolate?
I guess I can't do it because it's
or?
Mario, but I was picturing like the sound of the coins going ding, ding, ding. each one you watch, you get.
I just got a trophy for watching 50 commercials.
You get more points if the commercials are lame.
It's got to be like a trophy or something. Or, I'm sorry, Xbox, that'd be achievement. You watched on commercials. Congratulations.
You get more points if you watch Microsoft commercials.
That's all it shows.
Oh, man.
You get extra points if you skip the iPod ones.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so
all right,
the One doesn't look that special to me.
Well, I already bought the last game system I'll ever buy, so...
I'm still going for the PS4.
Oh, I've got the Nintendo
At least their
Wii
name
stuff.
makes sense.
I mean, if someone gave me an Xbox, I'd play it. I don't know.
That happened to me once.
Someone gave you an Xbox?
Yes, that's how I got my
Played
Xbox. Someone gave it to me.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Any other thoughts on the One?
One won today.
So they didn't fix their crappy controller design. So...
Yeah, I don't know why you have to have your... Maybe people that... At Microsoft, their right arm shorter than the left arm?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like having my toggle
Requisite.
things symmetrically placed, I guess. I don't know.
Dorme antes do míssel passar. Daqui a segundo eu posso não ter mais você. Você não mais que isso. Nossa casa explodir. Uma arma cravar meu corpo. Corpo furar sua.
Alright, so should we move on to random news?
Let's do it. Random news.
Alright, for my first abnormal news today, I have there's a lion that lives in a cage, so it's domesticated, been raised since it was a cub, I guess, right? Lions are cubs?
Yep.
With dachshund puppies. So now there's a lion named Bone Digger. It's like a kind of disturbing name for a lion that's kept in captivity.
Yeah.
But his best friend is now Milo, the 11-pound dachshund. And there's internet picture or video of the dachshund sitting or walking in front of the lion while the lion's laying down with his mouth kind of open. And the dachshund's like licking the lion's teeth.
Oh.
And then at one point the lion licks the dachshund.
I need that kind of medical or dental plan.
But apparently they're best friends. They do
A
everything together.
dachshund licks your teeth.
If you need one, I've got one.
You could train your dachshund to lick your teeth.
You probably could. I like to lick your face.
Oh, yes.
There's a great picture of the lion and the dachshunds all eating raw meat.
Together.
So that's nice. One of them has paws sticking out. Oh, wait.
Oh, ow.
There's supposed to be 5 dachshunds. I only see 4 here.
Oh, man.
But it's very, very cute.
Where did Mr. Crunchy
It's
go?
cute.
And for
Robbie.
some reason, both my stories have to do with animals.
Oh, you like animals today.
Apparently. Well, there's not much abnormal out there right now. So the next one, let's see, I have more comments about a lion and a dachshund being together. I wonder what the puppies will look like. All right. So the next one, there's a piglet, I guess, that was born with some kind of paralysis in his back legs.
Okay.
And instead of euthanizing him, the owner put him up for adoption, I guess, and someone adopted him. And the person made him a little cart that his back legs kind of sit in.
I've seen that.
It's got wheels.
Yeah.
But the name of the pig is the best. It's Chris P. Bacon.
What does the P stand for? Porky?
No, it's just so that its name's Crispy.
Yes, I understand.
Thanks for explaining the joke. Oh, spoiler alert. You'll just explain all the jokes before you get them.
Who?
Oh, man. Okay.
So apparently he's quite a following. He's got, unlike us, he's got 50,000 Facebook fans.
Whoa.
The pig does?
The pig does.
Wow. Maybe
And
that's
he's got a book deal.
maybe
Whoa.
that's what the bacon meme is about this little pig.
Maybe he's got a book deal.
The pig does? How's it going to write it?
Yes. I don't know.
Put ink on its nose and just like,
They're intelligent, I heard. I don't know if they're that intelligent,
not that intelligent.
as far as we know.
Wow. Crazy. Did you know that the pig's natural enemy is the tribble?
Did not know that. How do you get rid of triples?
Little known fact.
I didn't even know they were native to this planet.
Pigs?
Oh,
Yeah, they
Well,
don't look
you've
like
heard of
anything
pigs in
else.
space, right?
Yes.
Miss Piggy karate chops them.
Makes so much sense now.
That took a very strange turn.
yes, it did.
All right, shall we move on to what we're reading and watching?
Sure.
I suppose. I had a great idea, and then I just lost it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
All right, Jim, you want to start?
Yes. Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Oh, it's awesome.
yeah.
It is as awesome as it sounds. Okay, imagine a show made by Joss Whedon starring Nathan Fillion, Neil Patrick Harris, and Felicia Day, and it's a musical.
Yes.
It is
Awesome.
got humor, romance, singing, and drama.
And it's got that guy from Big Bang Theory. The,
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
So,
Howard.
Dr. Horrible is played by Neil Patrick Harris, and he's trying to get into the evil League of Evil. And his nemesis, Captain Hammer, played by Nathan Fillion, is always stopping him and ends up stealing his girlfriend. So,
Hate it when that happens.
it's a very good, exciting twist at the end.
I think they made it during the writer's strike several years ago, so
Oh,
yeah.
it's very
Cool.
funny. I enjoy it. I recommend it. It's on Netflix.
Yes! Okay, D Viddy, do you got one?
Yeah, I'm watching a show called Continuum.
Ooh.
It's really good so far. It takes place, it starts in like 2077, and it looks like at some point the government went bankrupt, and so the country's now run by corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a police officer that actually has a really cool suit that she wears, and like built-in optics into her eyes that brings up heads-up displays. So everything she looks at, it like checks them for whether they've got priors or warrants out for them. And
Richard Pryor.
right? It probably goes into some kind of weird freak-out mode if it saw Richard Pryor. But and I guess everything that the cops see is recorded, so they can use it. They don't have to ever go to court because they just download what they've seen and it goes to the court system. But there's terrorists that don't like this, and apparently they've rounded up all of the terrorists, and so they're about to execute all these terrorists when somebody sneaks in this device that sends all the terrorists back to 2012 with the police officer.
Oh.
And her suit's intact, and she actually, when she gets to the past, she's not really sure what happened, so she tries to communicate with the computer system she normally does.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually communicates with the creator of the computer system.
Oh.
It's like a teenager that's just got it up and running. It's like, how do you have this tech? It's not even out yet.
Wow.
And so he kind of helps her, and it's very interesting.
That's cool. Kind of reminds me of the plot of that show Time Tracks with the cop chasing bad guys back into the past.
Yeah.
You had that British hologram chick that helped him out. It sounds cooler than that, though.
I think it's a Canadian show.
It's a what?
Canadian show. Takes place in Vancouver.
Yeah, the second Hollywood. Canadian Hollywood.
But actually made by Canada.
Oh,
Which
wow.
it's like the second Canadian show I've seen that actually is pretty good production value. And the other one's like about a SWAT team, basically. I can't remember what they call it.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Well, Bill Shatner's from Canada.
Oh, and additional random news.
Yes.
Apparently at the age of 72, this past Wednesday, Sir Patrick Stewart tried pizza for the first time.
What?
Hopefully it wasn't Domino's.
Let me see if I can tell where it is.
Avoid the Noid.
Let's see. It looks like a New York-style pizza.
Ooh.
It doesn't say.
Oh, man.
But apparently he lives in Brooklyn.
And he just now tried pizza.
Yeah, that's what they said. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
He's
Crazy.
even doing it the proper way. He's got the pizza folded in half,
Nice.
like you do New York pizza.
I heard for his next birthday he's going to try a hamburger.
But it looks like he's drinking a soda out of a kid's cup.
We got a Happy Meal.
Looks like it.
Pizza. Wait, didn't I put pizza in Happy Meal? Never mind.
He looks the
That's a
same
great
age
idea.
as he always.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts this past week, and there was a podcast that I was a contributor for called Lost Unlocked back in the day when Lost was on the air. Well, the guy Brian from that show and one of their regular contributors, Ben, created their spin-off podcast called the Happy Cast, and I've been listening to that the last several days. And it's just basically two guys talking. They have segments and stuff in their show, but most of it's just, two guys talking about just random stuff. It's pretty funny. It's not real regular. They skip around.
Hey, I don't want to hear about your regularity.
Yeah.
I think there's something they can take for that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm listening to is the Happy Cast. And it's the happycast.blogspot.com, so.
Cool.
Yep. Do you guys have some nerd cred?
Yeah.
Looks like St. Jimmy has some.
I had a brilliant idea for a t-shirt for our show the other day, and I've still kind of working on the end, but here's what I got so far. It could say, Enginerdy Show, I liked it before it was popular. Don't worry, there's still time to like it before it was popular.
It took me a second to get that, but that's funny.
I haven't quite figured out that last phrasing to get it to sound right, because...
It sounds funny, though. I'd like it.
Yeah. So, that was my idea.
Let's see, what's my nerd cred? Interesting. I don't know if I have one this week.
Okay, well, mine's pretty simple. I can't remember what I said to my daughter, but she said back to me, I'll have to do some calculations and get back to you. So I'm like, yes,
nice.
That's so awesome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, well, next on to our regular segment, listener topics and emails.
All right, woo!
So we have two things to talk about here. Both are from listener Rachel. First thing is she posted something on her Facebook page saying that she likes their new picture.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it, but...
Neither did I.
Yeah,
well, it was a model.
I guess I'll take the credit for that. I just used paint.
I lent my likeness.
Yeah, your likeness was the easiest of the three to make, so...
I'm the one with the goatee.
Yeah, that and sunglasses, that takes out all the difficulty of the eyeballs.
You're very paint shop-genic.
Thank you.
Yes.
Or paint-genic.
It's taken me a long time to work up to that.
We also got an email from listener Rachel, so I'll read that right now. It says, I recently had a baby and thought how much easier it would be to just be able to transport the baby out of me instead of the whole labor and delivery thing. Then I got to wondering what other uses a transporter could have in the medical field. Transplants, reattaching a severed limb, removing cancer. Then I wondered if any of the Star Treks used the transporter for medical reasons. If the technology of transporters actually existed, would it be able to be used for medical treatments? Now
I don't see why not.
A pretty interesting idea.
It's probably been used in an episode before.
Well, in the first movie, they could have used that when they turned that guy inside out to have easier access for like an organ transplant.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Transporting a baby out of a person has actually been done in Star Trek.
Oh, I was going to say it's actually been done in Star Trek.
In Star Trek. It was in Voyager. I don't know if you're familiar with some of the minor characters in Voyager, but there was an ensign named Ensign Wildman.
Doesn't sound familiar.
She was not in very many episodes, but she had a daughter during the series. And there was some kind of complications during the birth. And so they decided to do an emergency transport and transport the baby out of Ensign Wildman. I think that
her daughter have horns?
Yes. I think that was the problem, was the baby turned and the horns were starting to do bad things to the inside of the mom, so they transported her out. And then they had to do like some kind of there was some complications from the transport, but the doctor was able to fix it. I know also on that episode they had a lot of transporter medical stuff on that episode, but I remember some aliens used a transporter, I believe, to remove one of Neelix's lungs.
Whoa.
I think I remember that one.
And so the rest of the series, he just went around with one lung.
You could use it as a weapon to transport something inside somebody.
Ooh. I don't know if that had been used.
Well, there's a DS9 episode.
Inside somebody, they bust out.
Oh.
On DS9, someone had a gun that transported the projectile.
Oh,
so you could shoot from anywhere.
Wasn't that was 7th
range.
season, right?
I don't know.
Because I think it involved Ezri Dax.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in, like, more than 10 years, so...
Yeah. Yeah, but could you imagine doing transplants just using a transporter?
How would you hook up veins and stuff?
Yeah, I guess that would be a difficult thing. But if you had, like...
You could get it out.
Oh, yeah, you could get it out. Like an appendix? I don't know how you would suture
You'd have to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Phaser.
Here,
they have medical lasers.
Then I'll shoot you in the gut with my phaser.
Let me cauterize that with my lightsaber.
Why are you shooting me? Aren't you here for surgery?
Yeah.
We can take the same thing with surgery with lightsabers in Star Wars.
Oh, those don't seem very precise.
You need to lop off a limb
beam.
Or chop somebody in half, maybe.
Do they have light daggers?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
What about?
I think it's called Yoda's lightsaber.
What about like removing a cancer with the transporter? Haven't there been times when they were able to use the transporter pattern to heal somebody?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody was just talking recently about how they use the transporter to unage Dr. Pulaski. They used her DNA from like a hair. Can
we transport out Captain Janeway's voice box?
So then they were like, if you could make Dr. Pulaski younger with the transporter and just some of her DNA, why are there any old people in the Star Trek universe at all?
Yeah, good point.
We could use metaphasic shielding.
You just pull that out of Voyager.
I don't know. They use metaphasic stuff all the time.
Okay.
That's so they can go into a star.
I know Voyager seemed like the worst one for
just made
techno babble. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, we could just blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, okay. It's like, come on,
instead of really solving our problem, we'll just make something up.
Well, and also have you noticed that the cures for people are really quick a lot of times in the series, like especially Voyager?
Well, it has to be done that episode. Yeah,
well, like that one where, what's his name, Paris and Janeway get turned into giant salamanders. And I think we talked about this in our first podcast, but I think I declared it the worst episode of the entire franchise. But they get turned into salamanders, they escape to a planet, have baby salamanders, and then they get transported back to the ship, and the next scene, they're completely better. Like nothing had happened. It's like, wow, yeah, Doctor, you're an amazing guy.
Yeah,
I know in one of the original series, when
Just an image search for Jay Wade as Ollivander.
In the original series, when Bones, Kirk, and Spock get aged by that planet,
Yeah.
they were originally going to have, after they, injected Kirk with an experimental drug to de-age him, they were originally going to have an effect where he de-ages as he's running through the corridors to get to the bridge to save him from the Romulans or whoever it was that was attacking.
That would be expensive.
But they decided to not go with that and to just have a shot of him writhing on the medical table with his legs kicking.
It might not have been his legs.
It could have been a stunt double's legs.
Could have been Gene Roddenberry's legs.
Ooh, maybe.
I'm going to say it is.
Okay, you do that. But if
It was actually my
did,
legs.
If they did invent transporters, do you think priority would be given to different uses like in medicine and stuff?
No.
I wrote a blog a couple years back from the point of view that transporter technology had been invented, but it was was run the same way as public transportation was. And so, yeah, it seemed like there was way too much bureaucracy involved.
It'd have to be.
But, maybe for government or military use, it might be... You could transport your guys behind enemy lines, or, hey, why transport the guys? Just transport the bomb.
Yeah.
Why not just transport the enemy 40 feet in the air?
You could do that.
Or put them in your jail and hope they don't have transporters.
Oh, dude, the policeman comes to arrest somebody, they don't have to put him in the back of the car, they just transport him to the jail.
If they run away, just untransport their feet.
That was bizarre. So, thank you, listener Rachel, for your feedback.
Yeah, got some good topics going.
And your email topic. See, other listener...
Talking to you. You know who you are.
See how easy it is to submit...
Write an email.
Oh, you know what? I never gave the contact information.
Oh man, that's the problem.
That could be this. Every other episode, that's what I start with, but I'll do it now.
If we don't have any next week, it's your fault.
Huh?
If we don't have any next week, it's your fault.
It's my fault. Okay, well, if you want to contact us, send an email to engineerdyshow@gmail.com or Twitter or Facebook us. All right, so the next topic or next segment is the Twitterverse.
Yeah.
And I pulled the first tweet from the top of the board when I logged onto Twitter, and it was Will Wheaton again. And these are the sage words that he has for us. He says, "Sharktopus' most powerful and unnoticed ability is to change size according to the boat it's eating." So there's nothing else I can say.
Yep, that about covers it.
Yeah, that would be scary. Alright, well, this is the portion of the podcast where we are issuing a spoiler warning. So we're going to cut back to us from a few days ago coming out of the theater after just watching Star Trek Into Darkness. And you will hear some of our ideas right after the show, and we'll cut to that now.
Yay! It's going to be a long one with the 2 car rides.
Well, just one.
Okay, we just saw Star Trek Into Darkness, and I thought it was awesome.
It was totally rad.
So good. Oh, those bad robot guys are geniuses.
Well, you realize that it's got a lot of good producer names on it. You've got Roberto Orci, you've got Damon Lindelof. What's that one guy's name? Can't remember, but
the respect they showed to Gene Roddenberry's creation,
yeah,
has been incredible through both of the movies. This one especially, I mean, it was. I don't care what anyone says. This was a Star Trek movie.
Yeah, they really got the three main characters spot on, and they got Scotty really good.
I thought Kirk was less Kirky in this one.
Yeah,
He didn't seem as much like Kirk from the original
It's had a
series.
totally different life path.
he's a lot more unrefined.
He ended this movie more refined, like than it's Captain.
Well, we do meet Captain Kirk in the original series after what's happened in these new movies. I mean, stuff has happened to him. He's older in this series than he is in these movies. So I guess some of it is immaturity that I'm seeing in this movie in particular that could have grown out of. But I think very Kirky in the first movie. And
Can I say my catchphrase? Spoiler alert.
oh,
That's your catchphrase?
well, this whole section is spoilers. So
Yeah, well, the way they described him early in the movie is totally Kirk, though. You know, he's brash. He just goes in and does what he thinks is right, and forget about the prime directive. So I think they got that part right. And then Spock, they've got him totally logical and following the rules, which is definitely Spock from the original series.
Yeah, that was spot on.
And then they got Bones with his emotional outbursts and his sparring with Spock. That was pretty awesome.
It's so great.
Yeah. Did you guys recognize that Admiral Marcus, the actor?
yeah, but I don't know what he's from.
I think he was one of the villains in Enterprise.
Oh,
Like the last few episodes of Enterprise before the finale. I think he was the bad guy in that. So you should go back and watch that. I did. I'm gonna have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that was the guy. Because when I first saw him, I'm like, that guy looks so familiar. But his voice sold it for me. I think it's the same guy, but I'll have to fact check that later.
That was really impressive, which I didn't really care for in the first game. I'm like, well, they can't have Uhura and Spock get really romantic. And thinking about Derek and Amanda, you kind of never really see how that relationship budded. You always wonder, how did the human and a Vulcan fall in love like that? But,
And he's half human where Sarek wasn't at all.
Well, you kind of see seeds for that relationship in the original series, though.
Yeah, there was.
In the Charlie X, when Uhura is singing a song about Spock.
oh, right.
And, I mean, you could see the kind of the seeds there. So
I mean, some of the guys probably went back and read the original series as far as character development and things like that. Yeah, I think that listening to that Star Trek podcast, where they go through each episode and tell me, I mean, I don't think I would have enjoyed this movie as much without their dive into the deep character issues.
yeah, that's true. The Mission Log podcast is
Bringing up against Spock, is such a rigid character, and Kirk is not. And just throws that prime directive out the window at every turn again.
well, Spock's all about regulations, and Kirk is about doing what's right, and it goes by his gut feelings. And
Yeah, a lot of the series was the theme of the original series. A lot of times was that sometimes passion and just righteousness is better than logic, because Spock will get stopped and stymied, and then Kirk will save the day by just doing something irrational.
Great that he's learning from the other Kirk too, from another timeline.
The other Spock.
No, he learned to the other what Kirk would do.
Oh, right.
Spock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirk kind of just stumbled into what Spock would do. Great.
I thought the parallels between this movie and The Wrath of Khan were awesome.
yeah, I saw some of rumors, people speculating that it would be about Khan and things, and I was like, oh man, don't do that. That totally ruined, the first Khan, the Wrath of Khan. But I think they totally did this one right. Just like, last time the other movie I was worried they were going to ruin it, but they went and changed the timeline. So it was like, okay, yeah, we can have a reboot.
I feel like Star Trek a lot of the times just takes characters and throws them into situations. Results in the character is nice and just cast them and see what happens.
Yeah.
I always like that's the end of that. The ultimate, been perfect, we can go back and get yet?
And some of them are dead.
Well, if we had Khan's blood, we could fix that.
Yeah, that's true.
No, when he said his name was Khan, I was just like, what? This is awesome! I had no idea it was going to be Khan.
I had convinced myself it wasn't going to be Khan, so it was good to see that.
I kind of wish Khan, when they shot his ship, and fooled him, if he had yelled at Kirk.
I was waiting for a long time for somebody to yell Khan.
And then of course Spock
And when Spock did it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't even think they were going to go there, but yeah, having Spock do that,
I was
yes!
really hoping they would, and they, exceeded my expectations. It was great.
So you tell that the movie is energized and added new dynamic. If you go back and listen to this podcast, you probably don't tell. It invigorated us.
As with a lot of action movies lately, there were a lot of action scenes in there where I thought, I wonder if they're shooting this way so that they can turn this directly into a video game. Because I would want to be Kirk running around, fighting Klingons or, shooting
that's a good point.
Spock chasing Khan. I don't want to get through San Francisco and things. It was epic.
Yes, very awesome.
All right, well, looks like we might have reached the end of our
On the Road podcast?
On the Road podcast, because we're all
Now they know how far we lived from the theater.
Oh, no. I'm on Enginerdy. Oh, okay. All right, so
Stay nerdy.
That's the end of this segment. We will have the regular segments afterwards.
No, we're going to put this at the end.
What?
Okay. That way, people that don't want to listen to the spoilers can just stop the podcast.
Oh.
But I'll have a disclaimer before it. We're explaining all of this.
Okay, but
there's someone's voice saying what time.
So we'll start off with our going to the movie, then we'll do some other segments, and then we'll say spoilers after this.
Maybe we should
turn it off.
We should name our podcast spoiler starting at, and then put the time on the podcast. That way
we could put that in the description.
Oh, we could put the time in the description. So.
This is good stuff for the after show.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to call it.
Well, this can all be on the cutting room floor or whatever. But.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Good night, Holdy.
All right, see ya.
That's all.
Okay, we're back. And that was our responses. Very cool responses. Some of the fact checking, I did find out that the guy that played Admiral Marcus, I think his name's Peter Weller, he was the bad guy from the end of the fourth season of Enterprise.
Mm.
So he was one of the... he had taken refuge on Mars and had kidnapped, what's her name, T'Pol?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, I can't remember. T'Pol and Trip Tucker, and somehow they impregnated T'Pol with Trip's baby or something. Anyway, it was a good episode, but I don't remember it very well. But St. Jamie, I know he looked familiar to you, and I think I know how he looked familiar to you.
Okay, what else was he in?
He was RoboCop.
Oh, man.
RoboCop, yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen that, but...
Also, I don't want to blow your mind, but he is also RoboCop 2.
Ooh. That's probably where I remember him from.
He was also in an episode of Fringe, but you haven't got to that episode yet.
Oh. Well, when I do, I'll be like, dude, that's RoboCop! My wife will be impressed.
Or you'll be like, dude, that's Admiral
Marcus. She'll be like, who's that?
Or, dude, that's John Frederick Paxton.
Whoa?
That was him in Enterprise.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was another actor in the movie that I recognized from Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah?
It was the guy whose daughter was sick.
Oh. Cool.
He played Mickey, Rose's boyfriend, which Rose is the Doctor's companion for a season and a half.
Okay.
And apparently he also played in Hawaii Five-0 TV show.
The
Haven't seen
actor
it.
Jimmy's talking about, or Peter Weller?
Oh, the Peter Weller.
Oh, I haven't seen Hawaii
he has
Five-0.
little bit parts in different shows. Yeah, I guess apparently, if you read the Star Trek website, there's a interview with Peter Weller on there, and he talks about JJ approaching him in a parking lot to ask him to be in Star Trek Into Darkness. So, yeah, so check that out.
That happened to me once.
StarTrek.com. Oh yeah? Did you turn him down though?
I was busy.
Yeah, well, I know I probably wouldn't be able to recognize JJ, and neither did Peter Weller. So. But yeah, I think if JJ asked me to be in a show, I think I would say yes as well.
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Oh, and I did remember the third writer's name, because I got Roberto Orsi and Damon Lindelof. The other guy's name is Alex Kurtzman, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good job,
And those
gentlemen.
guys did Cowboys and Aliens.
Good show.
Orsi and Kurtzman did Fringe. Lindelof did Lost. So
Cool.
yeah, it was a great movie.
Yeah, it was.
Even having time to think about it, I'm just thinking how well they did it. You know.
Yeah, I was worried that Scotty wasn't going to be in it very much
Oh yeah, when he got fired.
when he left
Resigned.
the Enterprise. I was like, what? He's not going to be in the rest of the movie?
Well, I was thinking, okay, so they're going to come back to him somehow, you know.
I was hoping, but
Yeah. Well, you think about what was it? Star Trek. Which was there was one movie where it seemed like he wasn't in it very much. I don't remember now. Never mind.
I don't know.
You're talking about the Next Generation movies?
Yeah, he was in an episode of Next Generation.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was a good one.
Oh, you know what
Awesome
else?
one.
You know what else I found out though? I think so. The transporter guy, I think he was Jimmy Doohan's son. I think I read that.
Huh.
The what?
The transporter guy. Do you remember near the end?
Transporter guy.
They made a real point to show the guy working the transporter.
Oh. Okay.
That was James Doohan's son,
Cool.
which James Doohan is also Canadian.
Was.
Was, yes.
Once we die, we're all American.
What?
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard, huh?
Sure.
Well, you know heaven's like a big Walmart, right?
You can wear your pajamas there?
Yes, the prices are always low.
Can I beat my kids
So
there,
are
too?
the clothing standards.
Nice.
No, I like Walmart. I do.
They've got stuff.
They got stuff, and it's cheap.
They've got the best seasoned fries you can get.
Oh, yeah?
They're $2 a bag.
Oh. All right, so did you guys have any parting spoilerish things to say about Star Trek Into Darkness?
God!
The butler did
Yeah,
it.
I did not expect that, but when it happened, I was very pleased.
I really wanted Khan to say, Kirk!
He should have been saying Spock, though, because Spock was the one that kirked him.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was pretty cool that the original timeline Spock was able to give, the alternate Spock
Alternate?
Spockternate? Spalkternate?
Yes.
Okay, so the William Bell Spock
Uh-huh.
and the Siler Spock were able to commune, and were able to come up with, a way to get Khan. The same, the kind of similar to what Kirk did in The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, are you ready? Here it comes. And then they drop their shields and fire on him.
Yeah, what?
Apparently my studio audience was very confused about that last part.
I liked how the part where Spock used his mind meld as a weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It made me think of the Vulcan death grip.
And then when he tried to do the neck pinch on him,
And it wasn't quite working?
Yeah.
helped, but only temporarily.
Was he ever able to neck pinch the original Khan?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think he did. Yeah. Did Khan interact with Chekhov at all in this movie? Do you remember?
I don't think so, because
They didn't in the original series, but they knew each other in Wrath of Khan.
Well, everyone knew who he was.
You know what? I think they should have called this movie. It should have been Star Trek: Wrath of Spock.
Oh.
Ooh.
But that would have given too much away, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And
I think actually when Spock was battling Khan at the end, he should have used his Siler powers and cut his brain open.
he puts his finger out and cuts his forehead open.
Yes, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Maybe you could do a mashup video.
Well, someone mentioned that there was a watcher on the Enterprise
A Watcher?
from Fringe.
Oh, Observer?
Observer, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked some of the aliens they had. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do without the
Well-
Captain Kirk in bed with the two aliens.
Yeah, that was not needed.
It's kind of crass.
Who were those extra people on the bridge? Was
They were
one of them at Ops and...
There's
That-
always someone there to take the place if one of the pilots got up or...
I think there's some rule that if you're on the bridge and you're not part of the main cast, you've got to be bald.
Yes.
Even if you're a woman.
Wait. Captain Picard was part of the cast.
But he had some hair
Did I
on the
get the memo?
sides.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He had the... what do they
I'm
call
talking
that?
about this movie, Into Darkness, because did you notice the navigator that sits down next to Sulu? She was bald, wasn't she?
She was
Yeah.
bald. She had really short hair.
She seemed bald to me, and then the Observer was bald.
Seemed bald.
Well, he looked like the Observer from the front, but he had some kind of electronical.
Gadget in the back of his head.
Was it a hat or was it a big hole in his head?
It was like an electrical readout or something.
It reminded me of the guy from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
But then the guy on the other side, he was also bald. So I'm like, wait a second, is this a callback to the motion picture with that bald lady that...
You know what I thought about was, I don't know, maybe the Star Trek movies, the second one is always better than the first one.
Yeah.
Because motion picture, think about it, Wrath of Khan was so much better.
Yeah, but the 2009 Star Trek wasn't bad.
It wasn't, but this one was way better.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think it was Orsi that talked about in a sequel, it's about the bad guy and how the characters react to the bad guy.
Yeah,
And so he's like, that's how it worked with Wrath of Khan. That's how this one's working.
Well, I think nerds everywhere rejoicing, Star Wars nerds.
Uh-huh.
Even though sometimes they clash. Sometimes they clash with Star Trek nerds.
Yeah.
But I think they were watching the Star Trek movie, and now they're like, if he can do that with Star Trek, what's he gonna do with Star Wars? And he's actually a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. Well, and they had that one scene with that Millennium Falcon shaped shuttle that they were flying in.
Yeah.
And doing Millennium Falcon type moves.
That's true, they were.
Yeah. Which that was pretty funny when I think it was Spock made a funny after that. Like Kirk's like, yeah, I think we fit. I don't think that's the definition of fitting or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that qualifies.
Yeah, something like that.
There was a lot of funnies in there.
There was funny stuff in the show, which was good.
Wow, this episode's gonna be so long.
Yeah, it is.
Holy cow.
And Kirk calls Spock pointy.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That was pretty good.
That was fun.
Yeah, great movie. Can't wait for the next one. The next one's supposed to come out for the 50th anniversary of Star Trek.
Cool.
So
I
we'll
heard
see
a
if...
rumor that once Star Wars comes out, they're planning on doing a yearly Star Wars release.
Oh, yeah?
The next three are all gonna be...
Is JJ going to do a crossover?
I don't know.
If he's directing both movies...
Well, the Enterprise can go back in time. They've proved it. And the Q could send them to a faraway, or a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. All right, well, I think we need to wrap this up because we're running long.
Yes, agreed.
So, all right, so the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Or the one.
Too soon?
me so you can't just say bizarre. You never get a moment for free. Show me something fun on your guitar. Something with an A or a G. Just be sure that I can tell it. Just be sure that I can tell it again. Most guitars are made of trees, with some L for the strings, and some frets and tuney things. Most guitars are made of trees. Most guitars are made of trees. People play them while they sing. Some are dull and some just ring. Most guitars are made of trees. You know me so you've seen it all before. Looking at me stuck in a tree, trying to hold a thought you can't ignore. Something multiplied by a 3. Just be sure that I can tell it. Just be sure that I can tell it again.
What kind of picture is D Viddy going to come up with this week?
Going to be Siler cutting Khan's head open.
I was going to put your guys' faces on some salamanders.
Oh, no!
Most guitars are made of trees, with some L for the strings, and some frets and tuney things. Most guitars are made of trees. Most guitars are made of trees. People play them while they sing. Some are dull and some just ring. Most guitars are made of trees. Some L for the strings, and some frets and tuney things. Most guitars are made of trees. Most guitars are made of trees. People play them while they sing. Some are dull and some just ring. Most guitars are made of trees.
The song Most Guitars Are Made of Trees is by Greg